Hello, Junior Achievement students and friends. I am very excited to be talking to you today. My name is Eric Basford, and I am a user experience researcher and designer at IDEXX Labs. So, just to give you an idea of what I do before we really get started, my question for you is, what's the best designed app or website that you've used? Could be on your phone, could be on a tablet, could be on this computer. When I say best designed, I could mean most beautiful, but I also mean the thing that does its job the best, something that gives you a really intense sense of control. Could be a video game. So what's your favorite best designed app? Hope you've come up with some cool ideas. I know applications of all types always inspire me. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm from Saco, born and raised. I went to Thornton Academy, and back when I was 17, I worked on their first public website, and that was really my first entrance into design and software. Then I went to Tufts University, just outside of Boston, go Jumbos. I started there in the mechanical engineering program. I thought I wanted to be an engineer until I took advanced calculus when I realized I wasn't quite up to snuff. Luckily, my college had a program very close to mechanical engineering called human factors engineering. And the idea there was to take the principles of engineering and make things easier for people to use, human factors. So while I was in the program, it went from the design of physical things like cars, it started shifting more towards the design of medical devices and instruments and into software design. And so I was exposed to many different aspects of product design and development while I was there. When I got out of college, I immediately started building websites with my same friend who I had worked on the Thornton Academy website with. I spent a couple years building websites with him and then got a job at IDEXX Labs in 2007. So I've been there for 13 years, actually just got my anniversary notice last Thursday, so 13 years in a couple days. Before I tell you what IDEXX Labs does, I've noticed a number of these junior achievement speakers have had coffee mugs from their business or other things. I wanted to show off my favorite swag. It's my Converse sneakers, snazzy red and teal, some important IDEXX colors. So to tell you what IDEXX does, I'm first just going to start with our mission statement. IDEXX wants to be a great company that creates exceptional long-term value for our customers, employees, and shareholders by enhancing the health and well-being of pets, people, and livestock. So while we do have businesses that help test your water or test your dairy before you drink it, we really focus on what's called companion animals, and those are pets, mostly dogs, cats, horses, and then there's a whole line of exotic pets. Now what IDEXX offers isn't medicine like prescriptions, but it's diagnostic testing to help veterinarians. And so some things you might be familiar with would be testing for Lyme disease, measuring chemicals in the blood like glucose levels, taking x-rays. We have cancer specialists who will read slides that have cells on them. So we offer all of these things to help a veterinarian determine if there's something wrong with a pet, what might be wrong with them. And we're based out of Westbrook, Maine. So it's a wonderful company that allows us to stay in Maine. We love Maine, and really work with some brilliant people working on real high-tech, fascinating problems. Now, IDEXX builds hardware, so things you might run blood through, things that might take the x-rays. We also offer services, so we have specialists on hand, and we develop the software to help manage information. So I have spent the majority of my career at IDEXX in the software division, working on things like you might consider an electronic medical health record for pets. So basically taking a look at all the data that our instruments and services have produced and helping a veterinarian understand, is there something wrong with the pet? What do I need to do to help them get better? Now, IDEXX has a great advantage over our competitors because we have divisions that cover all of these different aspects of diagnostic testing, and all of our products are integrated. So we started doing this almost 20 years ago, integrating our products, and that got us way ahead of the competition. So it's a great thing because our products talk to each other better, and it saves a lot of time for veterinarians and their staff. The challenge that produces is that we have to work very closely across all divisions of IDEXX. So it's quite a social endeavor because we really need to work with people of all different types, data people, business people, medical people, art people, all of those people come together to help us build our products. So like I introduced at the beginning, I actually have two separate roles at IDEXX, and from time to time I use each of them. So first off, I'm a user experience researcher. The idea there is we watch people use our products and talk to them about what they need in order to build better things for them. Oftentimes we say we try to know our customers better than they may even know themselves. Some of the methodologies that we use would be surveys. We send out surveys frequently. We interview people in person and on the phone. We love to visit them in veterinary practices to watch how they're performing different activities using our products. Something I wanted to mention we've been really excited about recently, they're called diary studies. So what we actually do is we recruit people, we pay them, and we send them an app that they install on their phone. And then for like a 2-week time period, every day we pop up little notifications asking them to do activities. So today, could you talk to a customer about X, Y, or Z? Today, could you take pictures of what this part of your veterinary practice looks like? And so we interact with them over the course of a couple of weeks and then compile all that information. And no matter what type of method we're using to do research, we take all the information we learn and we represent our customers when our divisions are making decisions. So, product managers are making decisions about where to invest their money in a product. Engineers are making decisions about how a product should work. So we try to help inform all of those decision-making processes by representing our customers. Now, the other thing that I do at IDEXX is user experience design. You could also call it maybe user interface design. What I love about this is I get to use my imagination to do problem solving. So there's all different types of software that IDEXX has. We have websites, we have phone apps, some that even work on a watch. We have little tiny user interfaces that are on our hardware. So we've got a big gray device that runs blood and there's a little screen on it that the customer may have to touch. And so I love this part of my job because I get to imagine new solutions that don't exist now and try to bring other people along with me. I love to sketch. I mean, every day I try to do it using just, simple paper and pen. A lot of times we use Sharpies just to get our ideas on the table or up on the whiteboard. In meetings, it's often very helpful. And I would recommend you do this as students to draw pictures of what you're talking about to help explain yourself to people. Sometimes it's hard for people to understand what you're talking about until they see a picture. So I'm going to show you in a second here some of my sketches and designs. So early on, my sketches are often kind of abstract and, looking for conceptually how things are going to fit together. I was actually working on this. It's for the spread of Lyme disease and heartworm disease across the United States. So you can see I started working on what the posters might actually look like. This was not quite software, it was for poster design. Here's the kind of the last sketch I did, laying out all the elements of the poster. And then a couple weeks later, here's what it might look like in actual software. It's really wonderful to see the process from imagining something that doesn't exist to figuring out how it's going to work, to convincing people to implement it, and then eventually actually seeing it come out on market. It can be amazing to actually see a customer use and love something that you invented. As I wrap up, I just wanted to talk about a couple takeaways for you. First is my role model. So my role model is actually my wife. She also works at IDEXX. She's an incredibly good business manager. While working at IDEXX, she's been raising her daughter with me. She got her master's degree at the same time. And even just today was working with the IDEXX executive team to figure out how to implement and invest in technology for the future. So she's been an incredible person to work with. We don't often work directly on things together, but we see each other all the time. And my recommendation about work is, you definitely want to love what you do, but I really hope you find some place to work that allows you to enjoy the people you work with. So IDEXX is a big company. I think we're pushing 3,000 people right now in Westbrook, and people of all types, all jobs. There's a whole support infrastructure around IDEXX as well. It's not just the engineers and the medical people. One of the parts I love about my job is going to lunch, and I've volunteered a lot with the folks who are in our dining, like the cafeterias. We have multiple. I love going in and chatting with the people who make our food, chatting with the people who may clean our desks. And then also being able to chat with people like leadership and executives. So there's a huge range of people, and I think it's really important to value your interactions with everyone. So I have really enjoyed this. I hope that you're learning from lots of other fascinating people, and best of luck in these trying times.